In the spring of 1988, the city of Milwaukee was unknowingly in the grip of a monster. Among the many lives stolen was that of 22-year-old Richard Guerrero. Richard was described by his family as a devoted son who often took his mother shopping and ran errands for her. He was born on December 12, 1965. On the evening of March 24, 1988, Richard left his family's home to visit a friend. He never arrived, leaving with only $3 in his pocket. That night, it is believed he crossed paths with Jeffrey Dahmer outside a local establishment known as the Phoenix. This encounter would be his last. Dahmer approached the young man, offering him $50 to spend the night with him. Richard, unaware of the danger, accepted the offer. They traveled to Dahmer's grandmother's residence in West Allis. It was here, in a house meant to be a sanctuary, that the tragedy unfolded. Once inside, Dahmer drugged Richard using sleeping pills. The young man was rendered unconscious, completely at the mercy of his captor. Dahmer then strangled Richard with a leather strap. In a series of horrific acts, he performed oral sex on the corpse before dismembering the body. In a chilling effort to hide his crimes, Dahmer dissolved the remains in acid and pulverized the skull. No physical remains of Richard Guerrero were ever found. For months, Richard's parents, Pablo and Irene, lived in a state of agonizing uncertainty. They even hired a private investigator to find their son. The search yielded no leads. Richard was one of 4 victims whose bodies would never be recovered, leaving his family with no grave to visit. The year 1988 marked a significant escalation in Dahmer's crimes. He soon moved into his own apartment, where his spree continued unchecked. Later that year, Dahmer was arrested for assaulting a 13-year-old boy. Despite this, he was only sentenced to probation, allowing him to kill again. Tragically, the brother of the boy Dahmer assaulted in 1988, Konarak Synthasamphone, would become a victim 3 years later in a notorious incident. In May 1991, police actually returned a disoriented Konarak to Dahmer's apartment, failing to recognize the danger despite the strange odors. The nightmare finally ended in July 1991, when Tracy Edwards escaped Dahmer's apartment and alerted the police. The search of the apartment uncovered horrific evidence that shocked the world. Dahmer eventually confessed to the murders of 17 men and boys. In February 1992, he was convicted of 16 counts of murder and sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms, totaling 957 years. Dahmer's life ended in prison on November 28, 1994, when he was killed by a fellow inmate. While the world focused on the monster, the family of Richard Guerrero remained focused on their loss. His father described Dahmer as the devil himself. Richard's sister, Janie, never stopped seeking information about her brother's remains. The lack of physical closure remains a deep wound for the family. The story of Richard Guerrero is a somber reminder of the vulnerabilities exploited by evil and the critical need for systemic vigilance. He is not just a statistic, but a son, a brother, and a life stolen too soon.